Move over.
Oh,
Hey, we're live.
right. Good afternoon.
It's Friday.
Right.
It's
Happy
early.
Friday.
We made it. Well, we're actually we're squeezing you in. How is everybody doing? I'm Kimberly,
I'm Caleb.
and we're Eastern Maine APA. Welcome to our weekly newsletter, where we try to catch everybody up on what's going on,
Right.
and just kind of include people in the conversations we've had all week. And there have been a lot of conversations. We've got lots of notes today.
Yep. And just squeezing you in before we load the car up and take the 3-hour trip to Machias.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
You've got the car halfway loaded,
right,
but we haven't packed yet. Yeah, getting ready for another fun weekend. We had our singles boards, which we got to talk to everybody about a few days ago. We were here on Monday, and so we talked about that, and that was a lot of fun weekend. But this weekend we've got Machias.
Yep.
A players tournament, the triple play.
Right, triple play players appreciation
up at
tournament.
The Anchor. We're excited about that. This will be our first tournament up there. They have 4 diamond tables, so we're really excited about this. So we're trying to get our act together, and there's a lot going on.
Yes.
But we are APA, and I wanted to start off by introducing APA to maybe those of you who aren't familiar or brand new, or those of you who are and need a reminder. We are the world's largest pool league.
Right.
And we're an amateur pool league. And we're real proud of that because we are welcoming. We're family friendly. We want beginners to come and participate. And then we're all community.
Yeah, we want everybody to have fun. The first and foremost, is having fun. Yeah, there's some competition involved in our pool league,
and frustrations come with competition. We don't expect it to be a completely unfrustrating.
Some players take it more seriously than others, but we just want to specify it's all about just having fun, getting out, hanging out with the family and friends, for an evening, forgetting about the outside world for a few hours, and just have a good time.
Yeah, leaving all the humdrum outside and just going and enjoying your community. And what I've also enjoyed is every pool community I've been a part of, you meet people outside of pool too. Like, you can ask your team if anybody knows a good electrician, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to find somebody's name or two. And I know with social media, you can just go ask anytime, but I always appreciate a good recommendation. And I know I've met mechanics, I've met hairdressers, I've met electricians, landscapers, doctors, contractors. So we love our community, and we just want to emphasize that, American Pool Players Association is an amateur pool league that everybody's welcome. And so we're glad you're here. And this is our weekly newsletter. We are going to Machias in a few hours, maybe.
Hopefully less than
within an hour, we're hoping. But yeah. So we did get a room. We're excited about that.
Yeah, it is a long 3-hour trip, so we'll have to figure out where we're gonna have dinner and what like that. Because
we love Helen's up there, but we might not get up there early enough for Helen's.
Yeah, they'll probably be closed by the time we get there.
Best blueberry pie if you're ever in the neighborhood. They have a blueberry goat cheese burger too. That Anyway, we need to get our act together.
Right.
So we are looking forward to that. It's a triple play format. We've got singles boards we're giving away, cue sticks, some fun little APA paraphernalia, and just a few little trinkets. We're raising money for local charity. Caleb spoke to one of our players up there, and I think they provide backpacks.
So it's called Healthy Acadia.
Healthy Acadia. So that's who we'll be raising our 50-50 for.
Yes, we'll be doing our 50-50 for Healthy Acadia. They provide backpacks, clothes and stuff for people who are transitioning from either a rehab center and getting back into society or whatnot. So they really help these people acclimate back into society, by giving backpacks, clothing, and necessities.
So we're excited. We'll keep it local, keep it up there. Oh, we have several teams from Machias participating. We have teams from Ellsworth participating.
Yep.
So we're excited. And thank you for traveling, for those of you who are traveling to play. I'm excited. So we got Mercury's going out of retrograde, for those of you who care. I do, because it picks on me. And I know it takes a little while for it to wind down, but today was the last day. And then
Right.
tomorrow's the first day of spring.
Yeah.
So happy spring solstice.
Everybody ever notice, your electronics screwing up on you, your computer not cooperating? My car couldn't do simple math, for me the other day. I was,
couldn't listen.
Nope, she does not listen either.
He doesn't really ask his car to do math, but he does ask it to listen.
So doing like a talk to text message, trying to answer this question in our group chat. The thing was, we're raising our weekly dues, so it's $12 per person,
per match, yeah,
all around the board. That's for our doubles, ladies, masters, and full teams.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be $12 across the board, and that helps us to be able to continue to give as much back to you as we can, and as we like to. And as we grow, we'll be able to give more back, and so we're hoping to continue to grow our league area so we can continue to give back to the players.
And continue giving what we're giving,
Yeah.
With all of our tournaments, the travel assistance, the Northeast Challenge, we get it in our budget, and then everybody raises the prices, and we can't fit it in our budget, and we just want to be able to do everything we've promised to do, and we've been able to do for 2 years, and concerned that we couldn't do it next year. And so we're really excited about the upcoming growth and upcoming things that we're able to provide, continuing moving forward. And once we double, we'll be able to take twice as many people to Vegas as we do now. Right now is one 8-ball team, one 9-ball team. We double up, everybody doubles up, we get 2 teams for each, and those are our goals. We'd love to do that, but right now we still have to support the team that we are taking out there and the players.
Yep. So anyway, so I was trying to tell a message to my car, and I was like, yeah, it's $12 a person, and then it's $2 for green fees, where if they charge green fees. And my car read it back to me and then wanted to make it $20, and I'm like, I didn't even say $20, and then the next time I redid the message, it said, oh, and the total is $10 per player, and I'm like, where does that come from? No. So my car really was not listening. So just an example of
there's Mercury for
right. Yeah, that's a Mercury issue. So tomorrow is the spring solstice, right? Spring equinox.
Yeah. When I went to the dentist trying to put in my next schedule, I opened up April and it said the 18th was Sunday. It had a completely different month altogether.
Yeah.
Because I knew the 18th was Wednesday because I was at the dentist.
Oh, what year was your calendar on?
It was 2026, but I moved it to March and then moved it back, and it was right. But anyway,
Nice.
That's a Mercury thing. We
Yeah.
blame it on Mercury. Always blame it on Mercury.
Yep.
But in the spirit of growing our league, we really are trying to work on a division rep program, and we really could use one. I mean, all of our divisions should be able to be represented by a division rep, a go-to person, somebody they can ask questions, or a connection to, getting a hold of us. Although players are welcome to contact us anytime. But a lot of times, sometimes the division rep can answer that question for you.
So my expectations for division reps, and I believe Kimberly agrees with me on this, and I understand not everybody's going to be a division rep like I was, but that's fine. So my expectations for division rep for the program is the rules, because you are going to be the go-to person in the room when somebody has a rule question. So please have a rule book with you, or just know the rules, and if you are not sure of the ruling, that's when you call me, and I will make a final ruling on whatever question they're asking. So division reps should know the rules, and division reps should also help us spread information about our league area and what's going on in their league area, upcoming events, stuff like that.
Running singles boards.
Yeah, hopefully, running some singles boards, and I will gladly get with our current division reps if they are, interested in running any singles boards, and I will show them how. They're very simple. And we try to set it up so that there's no cash money involved between the tournament, the tournament director, and the players, because we try to get our players to prepay for their spot for our singles boards. That way, we know who's showing up, and and that the boards are full.
And the best chance boards are 8 players to
3.
qualified. 3 qualified.
3 out of 8 players will qualify when we run a best chance board. And
So those are the ones that we try to really
and we
fill
try
up.
to handicap them as best we can from the players that sign up for them. We try to put the 6s and 7s in one bracket, and the 2s and 3s, and the 4s, in a bracket, just giving you an example. And it just really depends on who signs up for them. But we do try to handicap them so that the 2s and 3s are not playing with the 6s and 7s. The other thing about the division rep program is they help us grow our league areas. So if they, I'm hoping that, when they see somebody who is not part of their league, but is hanging out and checking out the room or whatnot, maybe they'll walk up to that person and be like, hey, how you doing? You like to play pool, or you like to have fun?
Any interest in joining a team?
Right,
Because we're always have teams looking for players.
Yep. And the other big question is, do you have friends? That should be like the third question you ask new players is, do you have any friends or family that might be interested in coming with you? Because that new player, they might be like, yeah, I know a few people. They might actually be able to put their own team together, and fill a slot. They might be able to fill a bye. Fill a void in your league area, and help grow as a division.
And we have little player booklets that we have QR codes on. So if anybody wants any of these books to leave in their dentist office lobbies or chiropractic lobbies in their area, we have plenty of them. Let us know. And any way to get the word out, because a lot of people don't know we even exist and that we're in the neighborhood. And then our division reps, they're such an important part of the league because they're ambassadors for us.
Right.
They're your go-to person in your division, which you deserve. And then we as a big community all work together, but the division reps are closer to home. So they're very important. And just as important as our captains and our players.
Right.
We all make this league, but some people actually do a little bit more to help keep it going. And we so appreciate that because, we got a lot of tasks, we're running the structures, the formats, the rules, the trips, the data input, the playoff structures. We're doing playoffs right now for our doubles team. So we did the wild card last night, some wild cards set up for this week. And so, while we're getting all of this stuff done, you've got somebody in the house or in the area that you can go to. So we're really hoping to develop that program.
Yep.
And have more team members, so to speak.
Yeah. And, division reps are there, for rule questions, upcoming events to keep players informed, help keep players informed. They're not there to settle disputes or
they're not policemen
or get in between arguments or anything like that. What I do expect division reps to do in that instance is go up to the captain of that team, because the captain is responsible for keeping their players under control. And if somebody is uncontrollable, then maybe they are not right for our league and maybe need to take a break. And so again, division reps are there to help us and also help you as players and teams. if you're looking for any players, talk to your division reps first. They might hear somebody or know somebody, or it might be able to help you out, just spreading the word, and do some networking. You're
And at the end of the session, we want them to check in with the captains and remind them that they need to tell us if they're coming back on the app, and kind of checking in to see how things are working or not working for the captains.
Yeah. As soon as we get into the last three or 4 weeks of the session, that's when we start to attaching, the question, is your team coming back for next session? We attach that to the score sheets. It's automatic on the app.
Although it is incognito.
Right. It is like
kind
the same
of
color.
blending in.
And we'll put a note out there, see if they can change it from blue to red or something like that to
have it stand out a little better.
Just checking with the teams, being like, hey, is your team coming back next session? Can you please, hit yes? Because then Kimberly and I don't have to spend unnecessary time sending messages, emails, reaching out to captains and, asking them if they're coming back,
busy.
and then have to wait for them to get back to us. So it's just as easy for you to circle yes on the paper score sheets for all our doubles divisions.
And thank you for doing that.
Right.
He told everybody, and they did.
And, hitting, the yes or no on the app, the scorekeeper app, or as soon as you open up your match, it's right at the top of the page. It says, are you, coming back next session? And
we look at that through a report.
Yep.
I haven't looked at that, but he has.
So right now we don't have many teams coming back next session, even though I know the majority of you are.
Yeah, so it's blue. It's a little ribbon on your app that when you open it up, it's a blue ribbon. It has a rack of balls. I think the question's right in there. So I know it's not standing out. We're going to ask them to do that.
Yeah. Kimberly and I, we are very busy doing other things, for the league. It's not just, putting in weekly score sheets. That's just one of our things that we do. And, Kimberly works very hard at getting those in and trying to decipher, people's handwriting. And just this past week, we had a doubles team put the wrong team number on their doubles match. And so
that was fun.
Right.
I'm a private investigator too.
Yeah.
So, I did not do well, but he figured it out for me.
Yeah. So so when that happens, we go to put the scores in, and then the scores on our system don't match the score sheet. And so it's like, well, I'm putting it in right. Like, what the hell's going on?
I'm putting their
here?
information as they put it in.
Right. So all that we ask is, like, when you're filling out your paper score sheets, please make sure it's accurate and legible, because we want to make sure you all get your points that you earned, because this last score sheet this week was actually the difference between this team finishing in 4th or this team finishing in 2nd, and putting it in, the way that they had it written on their score sheet.
Second place
they would have got 4th, right?
Yeah.
But because we had both of our eyeballs on it, late at night.
I just wasn't gonna put it through, but it was not making sense.
Yep. And yeah. And it even took me a couple minutes to figure out what was going on.
And I'm so grateful for you. This job needs 2 brains. And actually, with all the support we get from the national office and our consultant and John and Pauline and everybody that helps us, it is a lot more than 2. I mean, Dana, he's been so instrumental. He's helped us remember a couple of, like, what was it, our second chance?
Yep.
We hadn't gotten it scheduled properly. So thank you, Dana.
And even our players will point out when there's a scheduling issue.
And we appreciate it.
Right.
We appreciate it. I mean, we have some host locations that are not open every other Tuesday or every 3rd Tuesday, and some are not open for this session because of this or that. And
right. We have a host location that's not open for the next 3 weeks, so we have to...
I mean, people remodel or they do things getting ready for the season that's coming up. We all know we live in Maine, so it's moving and grooving time. Happy spring.
This time of a session is always busiest for us, because not only are we getting ready for playoffs and making sure everybody's scores are accurate and in the system so that we have the right rundown for who's making playoffs, but we're also getting things ready for next session. And so we're switching players around, switching teams around. People are moving, and so
Putting
there's
names on new titles.
right. So there's a lot of moving parts during this time, and so it's very busy. And on top of that, we're also getting ready for the Northeast Challenge. We're getting ready for our
Yeah, we're
showdown
finalizing
series
all
and
of
singles
that.
in Vegas. We're getting ready for our triannuals that are happening in a few weeks. We have our second chance coming up, our world qualifiers in like 8 weeks. Like everything.
Oh, we had to order everything for those.
Yeah. So there's a lot of moving parts to this job, and Kimberly and I, we probably put in about 60 to 70 hours every week. And then when you add a tournament on the weekend for that, that's another 15-hour day. And Kimberly will sometimes, stay and work on the office and get things going in the system, keep that going. And I'll go run the tournament. So, and all the tournaments, that's a 15-hour day just for me to go and run a tournament.
Right.
But I love it. I enjoy running the tournament.
Best job ever. Like it is
Um,
busy. Time goes by
yeah.
quick, but I love this job. I
Yeah.
love this league, and I love our community.
Yeah.
I really couldn't ask for a better group of people.
Yeah, and we're starting to get some brand new faces in here that are loving, that are enjoying
Wiscasset.
themselves.
A lot of interest in Wiscasset. We're hoping to get that division started come April.
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
Sounds like we have 3 teams right now. So
Yep.
if you're in the Wiscasset area or near Wiscasset and willing to drive to Wiscasset, let us know. We're going to check in with a couple places in Bath that also have pool tables. We know of 3 establishments in Bath. So anybody in Bath wants to join Wiscasset and be a traveling league, we're really interested in growing in those areas.
Yep.
So we're excited to have all the interest. I talked to my dentist office yesterday, and they're going to let me put our little player books. And that's why I'd mentioned a little bit ago that if you need any of these player books, we've got QR codes that direct people to our Facebook, to our YouTube, and to our website. Or is it member services? We have 3 of them.
Yep.
Anyway, you can get a hold of us.
Right.
So-
we have some new, brand new faces coming to Ellsworth. Ellsworth is continuing to grow a little bit. We're solidifying our teams up there. Our ladies division is doing, great. They've actually remodeled every team.
Looks like a great foundation they've got going up there. Great community of ladies playing pool.
Yep.
We've got some players coming from afar to come join us, and we're excited about that. Might be playing in Belfast and Ellsworth, so
Right.
we love it.
Yeah, an old teammate of Kimberly's, coming down, from the Bangor area to play in Ellsworth, and possibly
Shout out to
join
Henry.
Belfast.
Yeah.
Yep. And he might bring 1 or 2 players with him.
I met him like when I moved to Maine in 1999, and he was just this little. I think he was 10, maybe younger.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're excited about Henry coming, and
Yep.
we're excited about the new tables. You had a busy day on Wednesday.
Yeah. So Wednesday was interesting. We swapped out 9-foot diamond tables at All Play and put in the 6 7-foot diamond tables. It was told at first that it was going to be like the 28th of March, which I was like, great, that's a weekend. I don't have anything going on that day. Be simple. And then it was like, no, they got to do it the 18th. And I was like, but that's a Wednesday. I've got 8 pool teams showing up that night. They can play their matches. And, and then like, oh, well, they're going to be there like 10 o'clock in the morning.
We can
I'm like,
do
okay,
it.
yeah, this is fine. We can do that. And then 7 o'clock in the morning, I get a message. Well, they've been delayed. It's probably going to be closer to like 2 when they show up. And I'm like, that might be cutting it a little bit close, but the tables didn't show up till like 2:30. But I was able to keep everybody moving and keep things going. We swapped out the tables, had the new ones in, the old ones out, and the truck out of the parking lot by 20 minutes of 6.
Wow.
When I finished leveling the last table, it was 5:40. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then he still had to go play pool up in Ellsworth. What a trooper.
Right.
Wow.
I had to drive to Ellsworth after that. So it was
And
a long
home.
day. Yeah.
So congratulations, All Play.
Yeah.
We do want to remind everybody that, pool tables are very nice pieces of furniture. And a lot of people do a lot and spend a lot to provide these pool tables for us. And
We need to treat them with respect.
We did get a couple of comments about
players
these tables
slamming the cue balls on the table.
Haven't even been there a day, and people are slamming the cue ball on the table. And it was said it's happened a few times, and we're really hoping that that's not happening. If you see that happen, please let the host location owner know. These are expensive pieces of furniture, guys, and this is a sport we all care about. So I would hope that you understand and respect the equipment that's involved so that we can all play and have a good time. And if you're smacking the balls on the table, it's not good for the table. It's not good for the room. It's not good for positive, fun energy. Nobody wants to be around people who can't control themselves.
I understand that, frustrations will, rise and your, blood gets boiling because, your cue ball went to 3 rails and scratched in the side and, whatnot. And, getting used to these smaller 7-foot tables, there's going to be some trial and error.
There's going to be some adjustment for sure.
Right. So instead of taking your frustration out on the equipment and the tables, all right, either take your frustrations outside, scream at the moon. I don't freaking know. What I used to tell my players is if, you're getting frustrated with your game, your very next shot, just get up there and hit it as hard as you can.
Get it out of your system.
Just get it out, but don't take it out on your stick. Don't take it out on the table. Definitely don't be slamming the cue ball on the slate surface because that can dent the slate, can also crack the slate. And then you will be responsible for the thousands of dollars to repair that.
Yeah, and these places do have cameras, so don't think that people don't know what's going on.
Yep.
Please.
Just respect the environment, respect the host locations, and respect the equipment that you play on. All right. This game is not worth $100,000. That shot is not, you're going to pay your mortgage. There's nothing really behind it except your own ego.
Yeah. So, if you're not having a good night, just accept it and just not have a good night. It happens. It really does.
Yeah.
But we're all here to support you, but you have to be pleasant to be around.
Yeah. And there's always going to be frustrating times, in this game, there really is. But does it really mean anything? No. So
we're here for each other.
Yeah. One of the hardest things in pool is to have fun while you're losing. Nobody really likes to lose, but if you could just walk away from the table laughing or smiling, after you missed a shot that you don't think you should miss, then you're on the right path.
And really, our losses are due to our own errors, not things outside. And so we just have to kind of try to regroup or just accept it. It's like, today's not my day.
Every miss and every loss is a learning experience.
Yeah, that's Janet Leigh's famous words.
Yeah.
She's a pro. She's competing again. I'm so excited. I shared one of her APA games. It was a fun game that I shared yesterday from the APA Facebook group. I love Janet Leigh. Anyway.
All right, moving on.
So thank you for taking care of the equipment, and thank you for those of us who, those of you who let us know, because we really want to support our host locations. And we said we're getting next session set up.
Yep.
We've got wild card drawings that we did. Everybody except for Waldoboro 9-ball. Waldoboro Rockport 9-ball is next week. And so our full teams next week. Doubles, sorry. 9-ball doubles and our 9-ball.
Right. You got to specify.
I do.
They're pool players.
And I'm sorry. My brain is trying to keep up with all these different topics, and it's not easy. Yeah. I have lots of notes, lots of yellow notes.
So we had a lot of our 8-ball doubles divisions and one of our 9-ball doubles divisions finish their session this week and start their playoffs next week. And next week, all of our open divisions, 8-ball and 9-ball, and our 1 9-ball doubles division ends their session. And we'll start their playoffs the week after. But everybody starts their summer session the week of April 6th. So everybody will be on the same page except for Mid-Coast 9-ball doubles. They'll be a week behind everybody, but come summertime, everybody will be ending at the same time.
Yeah. That was an interesting situation with our 9-ball doubles in Rockport, but we had to add another week, and so they're just a week off. But next year, we're all going to be on the same freaking calendar. I'm so excited.
And I think going into our third year as being league operators, it's might finally sink in and actually pay attention to where divisions end up. Especially
it does become more clear,
especially where our doubles divisions have 2 weeks of playoffs. And our team divisions are open, 9-ball and 8-ball. They just have 1 week of playoffs. And then our 4-team divisions only have 1 week of playoffs. And so it's, keeping track of all that stuff. A lot of moving parts.
And I'll tell you, this calendar,
yeah,
that calendar right there has been so helpful.
Yeah,
I think we're going to do so much better on having it more consistent, because March ends. And then we get to put March up for next year. So we'll erase March 2026, have March 2027, and start scheduling next year based off of what we did this year. And it's just going to be easier to see weeks and transfer and avoid holidays if we can. And we'll all know when our sessions start and end and be more consistent.
Yeah. And unfortunately, this time around, we were not able to avoid having a second chance Tri Cup on Mother's Day.
I thought it's off of Mother's Day.
No, because
he hasn't even told me this. This is all news to me.
Well, because we changed it, and then we have to change it back because of conflict of interest, with our host location that we wanted to have. Our host location was not available for the day we wanted to have it on. So we had to keep it moving back to Mother's Day in order to have.
And so that's our second chance.
That's our second chance. When we were first putting our schedule together, first it was going to be like back-to-back weekends right up until Vegas, and then we decided, it's a little too much for me to handle, and then go to have to go to Vegas and do all that, and then come back and just jump right back into it. So due to my health issues and what I have to deal with after every time I get done running a tournament, I need a day or two to unwind and get
recover. You definitely have this MS hangover.
So trying to fit everything into back-to-back weekends was a little too much, and so we had to space it out. So so this time around, 9-ball second chance does land on Mother's Day, but next year will be different.
Yeah, that sounds disappointing. I think the cats are a little upset about that too. That's Khaleesi, by the way. And we've got Einstein up on top. Okay. So so I have been working on score sheets. I've got everything through Wednesday done that has been delivered. Like, I still have a few 8-ball out of Belfast outstanding, and 9-ball doubles out of Rockport Waldoboro outstanding. Those were played on Wednesday night. So once I get all of either score sheets and or payments, I can put those in. I'm not sure when I'm going to get back to them. I'm downloading everything, taking it with me to Machias. I'm probably not going to work on Thursday night 9-ball score sheets until Sunday. So those should be done by Monday night. And that's Thursday night. So whatever's outstanding on Wednesday, I hope I can get to it if I can get the payments for those matches and or score sheets. But no promises on what I have left for Wednesday. Before we did this video, I had everything up to date that I could do outside of 9-ball and Thursday night 9-ball. And I think there's only 2 teams that haven't paid for that yet. Everybody else has already paid. So if I can have some downtime and work on my score sheets, I'll have those done sooner than later. But probably looks like more like Monday. I expect to be, having fun with the tournament players tomorrow, and I won't be able to concentrate at the tournament and do score sheets. So Sunday will be the earliest I can get to those. So I wanted to let all of you players know that. And then, moving into our rules and rules of the week, we really didn't have like a specific rule outside of, the close ball rule. And that's hard to explain, on a video. But um, I just want to say before Caleb really gets into talking about rules, um, you know, I've said it before and I'm probably going to say it a lot, so you'll hear it from us. But rules questions are free, they're not timeouts. I do think there was a little confusion this week and somebody, took a timeout to explain a rule. And, we're an amateur pool league and we're full of beginners and a lot of people need these rules explained. And we're going to have to, as players, as people who get new people joining, we're going to be explaining this rule forever. And so we want people to know that they can ask any question they want when it comes to rules. And so they're free. But you did have a situation called in about balls touching, right? Was that the rule of the week?
Yeah, he just asked if I had any videos that he could show to his player, showing what a double hit was and whatnot, and how to avoid it. So in that instance, a player can ask, what the ruling is, and anybody can go up and explain to that player, the verbiage of the rule, and
And you're talking about balls that are close to each other,
right,
not touching,
not touching. They're just close,
like within a chalk or closer
right? Well,
distance of a chalk.
probably even 2 inches. You could still like
Three chalks are closer.
Even if your balls are 2 to 3 inches away, you still have you're still in danger of double hitting the cue ball if you're stroking through too far. And so this was an instance where the team was out of timeouts, so so the player didn't feel like he could explain to his teammate how to avoid a double hit or what a double hit was. But in that instance, if you're just explaining a rule, then that is not a timeout, and you can explain the rule to him, because even the rule states how to avoid a double hit. And so you can explain to the player, what the rule says, what's in the rule book. They still have to execute it. And I know during regular league play, there isn't always somebody there that you can call over to watch the shot and whatnot. But we want everybody, most everybody to understand this rule and how to avoid it, so that when they do get to our higher level tournaments or when they do get to Vegas, they are aware of that situation.
Yeah, because that's the most frustrating.
Right, and they don't get embarrassed or again frustrated.
And nobody likes to have a surprise rule. Well, I didn't know that rule, and that's why we want to help people understand it. And there's a lot to explain, but we're willing to explain it anytime. Caleb will show you if he's in the room what he's talking about. Tangent lines.
Yeah.
Most higher skill level players understand the rule. Hopefully they can explain it. It is more difficult for newer players and people just learning to get comfortable with the equipment. But it's always going to be out there. And it is something that when we're in Vegas, if a referee is called for a close shot, the ref doesn't even hesitate and will immediately explain to the shooter the rule. And I like that. And they do that out in Vegas. Caleb does that in our higher level tournaments if somebody gets called, right?
Yeah.
So this is something that we want to encourage, is that you can stop the game and say, hey, listen, this is a shot here where you could be foul. Yeah. You could foul, and this is why.
Yeah. So just remember, rule questions are not timeouts. If you're explaining to your player, how to break or where to break from or where to hit the cue ball while they're breaking, that is also not a timeout, because the rack has not been struck and the game has not started. So therefore, timeout cannot be counted because the match doesn't start until the rack is struck and it's a legal rack. So helping a player, break, explaining the lag, is not a timeout. explaining, the cue ball fouls and stuff like that. Any type of rule question is not a timeout and can be asked and explained by anybody.
And a lot of people get upset with sportsmanship issues and try to call them fouls. So it's important to know what is a foul and what isn't a foul. And don't always assume that the person who's upset and calls foul is correct. That's why we have these rules.
APA is strictly cue ball fouls only. Meaning if you hit an object ball off the table, say you're shooting at the 2 and it goes hits the back of the pocket and bounces off the table, it just gets spotted. It's not a foul. It's not a ball in hand situation. Again, just ball, it's just cue ball fouls only in the APA. There are other situations that we'll get into if we have to, but not going to right now.
And, as pool players, whether you're a beginner or you're seasoned, we all know that you find out what the house rules are. Like, everybody plays pool with their own little caveat of rules, and APA has their own rules. So when you're playing with the APA and in an APA league, we have our official team manual, which covers all of those rules, and they explain what the rack is and what a break is and what lags are and all of the different details. So we just want to make sure everybody knows the rules, and this is how we play in the APA.
Yep.
So let us know if you have any questions on that.
First and foremost, we're all about having fun.
Having fun.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Let's get out and have fun.
We're amateurs.
Yeah.
We're not pros.
No.
We want to be better. Everybody wants to be better. We wouldn't be competing if we didn't want to be better. And so we do have a lot on our to-do list. We're chugging along and checking it off. We've got singles boards that we're going to be scheduling come up in April, May, and June.
Yep, keep an eye out for those.
So we'll be letting you know all about that. If you do have any team changes, now is the time to let us know before we get our summer session moving. If anybody wants to be a captain, looking for players, let us know. Any questions?
Right. Please
comment below. Give us a call at the office. Track us down through Facebook. We're pretty easy to find. And I think we've covered everything in my notes.
I think so.
We appreciate you guys. You really do help this world go round, and this crazy pool community that we have is having a lot of fun, and we love seeing it.
Right.
So thank you for being a part of that. And
hope you all have a great weekend. Have fun.
Play pool.
Meet people.
Play pool. You changed it on me.
Did I?
I always say have fun.
All right.
Have fun.
Meet people.
And play pool. Thanks for joining us.
Right. Bye.
Talk to you next week. Bye.